All right, what up, Who That Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marley G. We usually do a lot of Saints coverage on here, but like I said, man, I'm gonna still be covering the Pelicans here and there. And I got me a Pelicans fan. He's a friend of mine, a long time friend of mine. He real knowledgeable about basketball, real knowledgeable about the team. Sure, y'all give it up when y'all watching this for my guest I got on the show called Terrence. Man, how you doing, bro?
Oh man, I'm good, bro. Fresh off work. You know what I'm saying? Ready to get it in, son. I talk pills all day. Do it at work and do it on my off time, so it ain't nothing.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. Pale's Twitter getting up there with Saints Twitter, bro. Saints Twitter is as toxic is all
Super
is all
toxic.
time, but Pale's Twitter getting right up there, bro. And we ain't number like what 7 games in.
7 games in, they ready to blow the team up. Trade Bi, trade Zion, trade all the picks for Willie Green. The list goes on.
Yeah, but before we get into the Pelicans, let's give a little bit of background on you, man. Where you grew up and how long you been a Pelicans fan.
All right, so uh, I've been a fan of the team since '03 when it first got here. But I played high school ball, AAU ball. Uh, been a basketball fan my whole life, basically. So I mean, I follow a little more in depth than the casual fan, I guess. I ain't no expert, but I do know hoops.
Right.
So you know, it is what it is.
All right, so man, like, what was your initial reaction of the loss that we just took to the Denver Nuggets? Yeah, they're the champions, but we was up by like what 20 points, and on top of that, they didn't have Jamal Murray, and on top of that, we got a 30 piece from Jayhawk. Like, you man, I just felt like they gave up, bro. What's your initial reaction of the game?
One thing I haven't understood about this team in like the past 2 years really is the collapses in the third quarter. Going back to even like Stan, like for whatever reason, this organization just fails third quarters, no matter what. We could play 3 solid quarters, and that third quarter always seems to put us in a hole. I don't get it, and I really don't know what the problem is besides lack of effort. Because we had 71. Like, I try to keep my expectations realistic, right? I kind of knew that they weren't going to keep that lead because A, they playing a good team, and B, I just know my team, and I know they're just not going to finish like that. I didn't expect them to collapse quite as badly as they did, but I knew they were. I knew we wasn't about to blow the Nuggets out by 20 points deep down in my soul. It is what it is on that. But one thing, a lot of people give Willie Green a lot of flack for the team's failings, which some of it is rightfully deserved because he's the only coach that I've ever seen that can, figure out a game plan and it be damn near unstoppable. And then the next quarter, he'll throw that away and go with something totally different that don't work and just never go back to what was working. I don't get it. But I feel like with our stars, or Bi and Zion specifically, something is not clicking between the two of them. I feel like it's fixable, but some uncomfortable conversations really need to be had about how they synergize on the court. Because I see Zion get frustrated. He like a little kid. Like when I was playing ball, my play style was like a Jordan Hawkins, a Rip Hamilton. I ran around a bunch of screens. I was a shooter. So I get when somebody else got the ball in their hands and you're not getting touches, when you feel like you should be getting touches, it gets frustrating. And it's very evident when Zion don't get the touches he wants, he start playing lazy defense. He already don't like getting back in transition, stuff like that. So if you're not feeding him, his whole morale tanks, basically. And it looked like, I don't know what went on with Bi this past summer, but I feel like Team USA had like a negative effect on this man game because I feel like now he's second guessing himself or something. So it's a combination of things that's all like small stuff, but when you start, stacking a bunch of bricks on top of each other, eventually you get a wall. So I don't know. Somebody needs to have a talk like, look, when both of us on the court, the ball need to go through such and such. Whatever. I don't care what that looks like. I just want wins.
Do you think it's a combination between the summer that he had and on top of that knee injury? And do you think that Zion is not in shape?
The whole Zion not being in shape thing, I think, is overblown a little bit. The man ain't never in shape because he don't play long enough to really stay in game shape. He usually hurt to start the summer, so he got to start the summer rehabbing. Then by the time it get close to preseason, you hit oh well, we're ramping him up. He's getting ready. You know what I'm saying? He don't never have like a whole off season to really just work on his game and be in shape. The only way that man gonna get in shape is to play the game. All that resting and all that, that's not helping him. He need to be playing to get in shape. If you want to limit his minutes or whatever, cool, but he need to play. All right. Another issue is them two don't have enough minutes together. Like, I know they've been on the payroll for 5 years, but if you clock all of the minutes played together, it's not a lot. So they still learning each other. And as far as BI goes, this is purely speculation. I really don't know what's going on in that man's head. But I don't think it's so much the knee injury because I feel like the organization was capping and they just wanted to rest him anyway. But whether that's true or not, that's up in the air. But he wasn't out that long, and the shots he's taking and the way he's playing seems very tentative, like he don't know what he should be doing or something with Zion on the court. Now, when Zion goes off the court, I feel like his, not necessarily efficiency because he's still playing bad, but I feel like the way he attacks and his decision making is completely different when he don't only star on the court. And I don't understand that because their play styles, while they like to be in the same area on the court, can work because Zion wants to get all the way to the cup every rip, and BI wants to shoot mid-range jumpers. I feel like a big hole in BI's game that's holding Zion back when they're on the court is not really his shot selection. It's the fact that BI seems incapable of making that little pocket pass off the pick and roll, that little, the Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd pocket pass where Lonzo used to do it perfectly. Hit him in that little short roll with a full head of steam, and it made it easy for him to get them points. Like, BI is great looking over the top of defenses, but if you pay attention, he always throws over the top. It's never a bounce pass in between. Like, it's extremely rare for him to throw that little bounce pass out of the pick and roll. And I can see the frustration on Zion's face when he rolls and he know he's not about to get that ball. As a player, when you constantly do stuff like that and you don't get rewarded for it, like JV, for example, man do all the dirty work and barely get no touches, it take you out the game. So as a coach, that's why I say some of the blame fall on Willie. As a coach, somewhere, like I said, uncomfortable conversation need to be had because it's like, how do you have these two dynamic players and they rarely have any actions together? Like, it's very seldom you see a successful Zion BI pick and roll when it should be pretty much unstoppable under the right circumstances.
Willie been parading these two around. Well, not around, but he been dubbing them as the best duo in the league. Is there another duo that you think is similar to both of them with their games and their sizes and play style that had success before?
Off the top of my head, nah, not that I could think of. Let's see. Not really. They kind of unique in the sense that BI is taller than Zion, but Zion is the big man. Neither one of them really shoot threes. It's an awkward fit. It's an awkward fit. I don't know if I've ever seen a duo quite like them. You could say, Shaq and Kobe, blah, 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 but they don't play like that. Yeah. I mean, you could say BI kind of play like Kobe and Zion kind of play like Shaq, but if you're talking heights and stuff like that, the roles should be reversed considering Zion 6'6" and BI 6'8". It's an awkward fit. I'm not going to lie, but given their skill sets, it should still be able to work. Like I said, I know I was talking to you the other day about this, but I feel like a lot of the problems on this team are internal stuff that can be solved through film and effort, stuff like that, like not getting back in transition, not boxing out. This basic bitty ball level stuff they're not doing. You know what I'm saying? The ball gets shot, everybody just turn and ball watch, don't box nobody out. Like, bro, I'm 5'9". I was a pretty solid rebounder at 5'9". You know why? Because I'm going to box my man out at the three-point line. You feel me? Like, why we can't do simple stuff like that? And I get these dudes uber athletes and they feel like they could jump over everybody. But it's basic fundamental stuff that they just don't do. Simple passes or overpassing, like gambling a lot. Zion definitely guilty of that. Like, son, stay in front of your man. You don't have to gamble for a steal every time. Like this man, and then he be snowbirding or cherry picking, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. The man don't want to get back in transition because he like, yeah, it hurt back there somewhere. Somebody will get a steal and give me an easy dunk. And like you putting your teammates, now you got a 4-on-5 situation, and then that's killing the morale. Like you got to be solid, bro. So as a duo, the both of them really lacking on defense this year. Bad. Real bad. Everybody else hooping. I'm looking at Matt Ryan, Jordan Hawkins, hell, Cody Zeller, like people D'ing up, giving it they all on defense, and these two just lackluster. Our team only gonna go as far as them two defenses gonna allow. Even like I was even impressed. Let me not use impressed, but I was satisfied with CJ's defense before he went down. The man was working. You know, he ain't the best defender, but effort wise, you know, I give a man some praise. He give it his all every time he out there, win, lose, or draw.
Right. Yeah, man. I think when it comes to the effort, I think they definitely could do better with rebounding. I think they definitely could do better with defense. I think that Zion, I think he saves a lot of his energy for when he's on offense, for when he drives to the goal.
Definitely agree.
I think he could work better on his jump shot so he don't have to drive to the goal as much, and on that'll simultaneously probably help with him not getting injured, because sometimes when he drives to the goal, he always take a fall, and he take a fall on his hip or something like that, fall on his back. Like he barely ever land on his feet sometimes when he don't land on his feet. So I think that if they just play with more effort getting these rebounds, that'll help drastically. And if they would just, you know, play a little bit more effort on defense. I ain't saying you got to be out there locking up just exactly like her, but at the same time, bro, effort go a long way, bro. Effort go a long way that people think. Especially when you the face of the team and you trying to set examples to the young people like, you know, Jayhawk and Matt Ryan and those guys. So, man, I definitely agree when it comes to like the effort part. But I think this team is lacking a facilitator and a rebounder that's athletic big. Is there anybody that you think we could seek out through the trade deadline to obtain, or you really just got to see how we look fully healthy before you could come up to a conclusion?
So I don't think there's anybody you could go after right now, because in the beginning of the season, everybody feel like they gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So unless a team already had a problem with somebody prior to the season starting and they already looking to get rid of them, it's going to be harder to pry people away from organizations when they feel like they could win. Now, as far as who on the market and who's available and who's worth getting, nobody really comes to mind. Like, I kind of wanted Rob Williams, that boy from Shreveport, from the boot, and, you know, it's a good little story. Plus, he a rim protector, but he always hurt at case in point. You know, the Miles Turner thing has been beat to death. Miles Turner helps with your floor spacing and shot blocking, but he is trash at rebounding. So, I mean, to be honest, bro, I'd take an Andre Drummond right now. Like somebody who, you know, get a all to get 15, 20 rebounds a game. That's just something we ain't got, dog. Like, it used to be Josh Hart, believe it or not. Josh Hart was that guy that was going to get you them boards. Josh Hart getting 10 rebounds. So it ain't even necessarily got to be a big man. It got to be somebody who just relentless on the boards. And we just don't have nobody on our team like that. Now, I will say this. A lot of energy is missing right now because Jose, Najee, and Trey are all like fan favorite energy guys. Trey hit a three, whole arena going crazy. Jose D'ing up 94 feet, whole arena going crazy. So a lot of Najee with some of these crazy plays he make from time to time, you know, and get the fans off their feet. And right now, it's just like the energy on the team is not there. And it really shouldn't be up to those dudes to bring that. But, you know, that's where we at. I feel like the starting lineup ought to be able to bring that energy without somebody else coaxing them out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at last season, when Jose went down at the end of the season and how we just was flat the whole bottom half of that after he went down. Like, I don't understand the kind of placebo effect Jose just being in uniform has on his team, but it needs to be studied. Get the NASA scientists on that in the lab. But these dudes have been flat ever since, and I don't get it.
You mentioned about the lineups. What lineups would you like to see really roll out when what lineups would you like to see when we're relatively healthy?
So I made a post about this the other day, and I got a lot of flack for it. They was like, "Man, take Larry out of the lineup." But I was like, Larry, Trey, Hawk, Matt, and either Zion or Bi, either way. Because at that point, the only reason I got Larry in there, let me go ahead and get his disclaimer, is because Larry allows you to switch everything. All right. For whatever his shortcomings are offensively, he can still rebound at a decent rate. He's a decent shot blocker when he wants to be. And he got enough foot speed to guard guards. I'm not saying he's going to lock him up, but I mean, he ain't going to get, cooked. So you need at least one semi-big man in the lineup. I am not a fan of the Zion at the 5 thing at all. The man don't rebound enough for that. So, like I said, Larry, Trey, Matt, Hawk, Z or Bi, right? You let them have the ball in their hands, and at that point, I'm just, if I'm willing, 1-4 flat, 1-4 flat, clear out. You either got to double me or you're getting your eyes dotted. Because I mean, that's basically what CJ doing. That lineup he running with CJ, Hawk, Matt, man, you throw Trey in the mix with that, bro. You getting blitzed from the 3-point line. That's gonna be tough to stop.
All right. So speaking of trades, one more time, like when it comes to trades, like I'll go ahead on and put them in like tiers, from like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. What you think would probably be best for us if we could get like a good deal if we were to just go ahead on and do a trade, like if things just not working out? Like, should we trade either Zion or Bi, or tier 2 CJ or Valanciunas, or tier 3 maybe Trey or Jones?
All right. Now, under no circumstance do we trade Trey or Herb.
Okay.
Period.
So
for one, we're only paying Herb $54 million.
Yeah.
So for the amount of value this man produces, versus how much we paying him, that's a no-brainer. Secondly, Trey, we're gonna have to pay him in like a year. Not this season. I think not this season, but the next off season. But if everything goes south, and I mean the absolute worst case scenario, beyond hate the organization now, and Z want to get out, and they want to trade him, I do feel like you could build a solid roster around Trey, probably Hawkins, Herb. We got some pieces that we can start over with. Them young dudes that play the game the right way, under no circumstances am I trying to trade them dudes. Now, all right, if we had to trade CJ and JV, because at this point, I still feel like Bi and Zion can work out whatever the problem is.
Well, when I say trade, I ain't saying both of them as a package. Like I ain't saying Bi and Zion.
I get that part. What I'm saying is I don't want to give up on a duo just yet, so I wouldn't want to trade them, even though they have a ton of shortcomings. Like I said earlier, they really just don't have enough minutes played together to figure each other out. And when they do, they'll play 12 games and then one of them missing 30 games, so you forget what that even feel like. So it's like they've never had enough consistency together other than the Stan year. And at that point, everybody hated Stan and hated basketball. So I kind of just throw 2020 out the way. It was a weird time, right? So I would rather give them some more time. Everybody acts like this is a win now situation, but these dudes are still young. They're young as fuck. They got time. The fans, the city, we want wins because we've been suffering forever. But at the same time, the window is wide open. When your two stars are 23 and 26 or about to be 27, you got time. It's not like B.I. finna be 30 or Zion finna be 30. We got time to build that. We got good rookies. We got good people coming behind them. Granted, we're not going to be able to keep everybody eventually, but I wouldn't trade them two just yet. Now, if this shit just completely falls apart this season and the two of them are healthy for the most of it, then yeah, we got to probably make, some tough calls. But I'm really not willing to trade CJ, but just for hypotheticals, because this man at least shows up. He might not do what you want him to do in the game every night, but the man show up like a professional and hoop every night. But for the sake of argument, if we was gonna trade CJ and JV, you got to get one of two things back. You either need a legit floor general, like, I mean, I'm sure you're not going to pull somebody like De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul, and no star, because obviously their teams want them. But if you could get like a Tyus Jones, or let's see, who else can I think of off the top of my head? You need somebody who can distribute. Like that isn't a passer, like a Rondo-esque, I'm about to hit people in the pocket where they want to be at type of dude. I don't know who the hell that would be. Tyus Jones, about the only name that come to mind. My man's had like a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio last season.
What about Trey?
But there's not that many left in the league because most guards, we don't even really have real point guards, traditional point guards like we used to. You look at the Kyries, the Fred VanVleets, Steph. Most of the guards are really just shooting guards that are short. Like, the Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, Jason Williams, Chris Paul, like that, the art form of passing is dying because everybody wants to score. Everybody want to drop 30.
What about Trae Young?
Back to the trades. If you can't get somebody like that, then your next best bet is to at least try to get a rim protector because our rim protection is ass. I'm talking about straight cheeks.
Yeah.
Cheeks. So at least with the porous defense that B.I. and Zion play most of the time, at least if you got a rim protector behind you, you can salvage some of these plays, like a Mitchell Robinson or Kevon Looney, somebody that going to contest everything. They're going to contest everything, and they're going to try to rebound everything. That's the only purpose they out there for.
How do you feel about us trying to go after Trae Young?
Again, it's one of those things that, the Hawks not finna trade this man. I mean, if we could get him, that man would have a field day with Zion on his team. Trae Young will probably easily average 12 assists. Zion will average 30 because he's going to catch about 6 lobs a game. So, I mean, if it was possible, bro, I'd probably go ahead and do it. Because, again, Trae Young is what, 20, 24?
Well, look like the new Lob City.
Yeah, bro, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. Nah, with that being said, Trae got a lot of shortcomings of his own. The man can't. He couldn't cover a twin bed with a king size sheet. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna get cooked on defense. But I mean, at this point, that's no different than Zion's effort. And also, for all the stats he puts up, the man is percentage wise. We talking about effective field goal percentage and all that type of stuff. My man's be he'll go off one game and then throw straight bricks the next. So it's a gift and a curse. But I would still take his passing ability alone just to be able to unlock everybody else. I just don't think a trade is possible where we don't have to give up damn near everything to make that happen.
What do you think about Willie Green so far in the season? Do you think it's more so our shortcomings are on him or on the players?
That's a tough question. I feel like it's a little bit of both. I don't know which side to tip the blame to more, but I feel like as a coach, especially the amount of time you've had, not with them on the court necessarily, because obviously you can't hold that against them being injured, but you've known these two guys long enough and seen them practice enough that you ought to have been able to figure out some kind of play or set that takes advantage of the both of them being on the court at the same time. Instead of this, excuse me, Brandon, it's your turn. No, Zion, you go. You haven't had a touch in a while. You go one-on-one. No, I insist, Brandon. You go ahead and have one-on-one. Like, that's what the offense look like. It's terrible. The minute they out the game and you put the shooting group in the game, them boys be slinging that thing, looking like Golden State out there. Like, why can't the starters play the same way? I don't understand the ISO heavy situation. Granted, I seen NBA University posted like Zion is like top 10 and ISO point efficiency, obviously. But the way the offense looks when the both of them are on the court is terrible, bro. Like, I be cringing. Like, what are we doing out here? So I think it's a little bit on both parties. But as a coach, it's your job to figure out how to maximize the potential of the people you got on the court. Or else, why are you putting them lineups out there if they don't work? So I guess to answer your question, I give a little bit more of the blame to Willie than I do them two. But they all complicit in this.
And they had put up the stat with Zion and Bi on a team together, but playing together. But I wonder what the stat is with the big three. That's what I wonder.
Talking about like net rating or something.
Well, no, what the stat is with how many games did CJ, Bi, and Zion play together?
Oh, I think it's like 16, something like that. It's terrible, bro. 2 years, though. 16 games. Yeah, bro. I just, I don't know what old voodoo lady done cursed us, bro. But it don't make no sense for us to go through this every year. And I knew it was gonna be this type of year when Trey tore his what that was. It wasn't his Achilles. What was it, MCL or something? Whatever the hell happened to Trey, I was like, oh, it's starting already. I was like, Jose not even back. So now your top 2 bench players already gone.
Yeah, they always talk about some reevaluation and stuff.
Oh, boy, look, the word reevaluate give me nightmares. I need to put that on a shirt.
What do you feel about our medical team? Like, we held Zion out the back-to-back. We keeping out Bi. Seemed like the reevaluation with Jose. Like, how do you feel about our medical team? Like, you think that we just being too extra precautionary, careful because we went and got like the top people or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like I know they said they basically fired the whole staff and got a new staff, but I don't really know. I ain't plugged in like that. But I think the distrust with the organization from a fan perspective comes from the secrecy and like the smoke and mirrors with what's really happening. Like the whole reevaluate in 2 weeks. They reevaluated Zion every 2 weeks for like 3 months. Like, bro, just let the fans know, hey, bro, dude gonna be out 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna be drove. It's a tough pill to swallow, but like, hey, at least we know what's going on. We're not constantly hoping week to week, like, man, maybe he'll be back. Like, that's the part that's really disgusting. Like, if something is seriously wrong, just say that. Like, we're all adults here. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say what's wrong, bro. Like, hey, such and such got such and such injury. They're gonna be gone 12 weeks. I could eat that. I'd be like, damn, that's tough. But hey, at least I know what's going on. Then at that 12 weeks, if they have a setback, be like, hey, such and such had a setback. They're gonna be gone another 4 weeks. It's crushing, but at the same time, at least your organization just telling you what's going on. Not, oh well, we day to day, and then you day to day for 2 months. Like, bro, we passed day to day at this point.
What's the benefit of them running an organization like that?
Bro, look, I wish I had the answer for you on that. I don't understand it at all. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
You ain't got the answers for
me. Yeah, fair. I ain't got it. I don't know.
How do you feel about Dyson Daniels and where his game at right now?
Nah, Dyson's an interesting case, right? I like to keep Dyson around because when you take Herb out the game, you can slot Dyson into that spot, and he basically great value Herb. You know what I'm saying? So I give Dyson a pass because he's still young. The man, 20? I don't even think he hit 21 yet. And the amount his defensive upside, you got to give him some grace. Look at the leaps Herb has taken in a short amount of time he's been here. I feel like Dyson can do the same thing. His shot already looks better from a form perspective. He just gotta. And I mean, he's been hitting the last couple of games a little bit. So my only thing with Dyson is the predictability of his moveset. Dyson he's gonna drive, and he's gonna spin, and he's gonna shoot a float every time. You can count on it like death and taxes. Every time he get in the paint, I know he finna spin and do that float. And I'm sure the scouting report knows that too. And if I'm a coach, and you on my team, and you defending Dyson, and you let this man get to the goal and do that spin and do that floater after I told you it's coming, you come and sit down. You know what I'm saying? It's that predictable, dog. But I feel like the tools are there. You can teach offense. It's hard to teach grown people defense. That's one of them things you gotta want to do it. So I feel like we should keep him. But if a team just insisted that we include him in a trade and it would get somebody that would greatly propel us forward, I will go ahead and do it begrudgingly, but I don't want to. I'm willing to give up like Kyra, even though I really like Kyra a lot and I feel like he could thrive in the right situation. I just feel like on this team, this ain't it. But Kyra, I see we don't use EJ. I give EJ up. You know, it's a few people down there at the end of the bench that I'd be willing to give up, and then possibly Dyson if we just had to, or Najee or something. Even though, again, I don't want to get rid of Najee just for locker room purposes and stuff like that. But sometimes, you know, like they say, it's a business. You got to do what you got to do to get better. I can't just keep all my dogs. Look at LeBron in Cleveland. LeBron had everybody he rocked with in Cleveland that year. They had Derrick Rose, Darren Williams, Isaiah Thomas, D-Wade. Man said, okay, this shit ain't working. Y'all got to go. I got y'all numbers. I'll holler at you later. I'm trying to get a chip. So sometimes you gotta make the tough call.
Yeah, man. One of the biggest things that just get on my nerves with this team is when we need to make a play, we need to have a bucket. And we just don't have that facilitator to make that smart decision to go to the open guy and just facilitate and just play efficient basketball. Like it's always a turnover, or everybody just seem like they don't want to take the shot, and that last guy just throw up a dumb shot. Like I can't stand that, and just not getting a defensive rebound when we need to get a rebound. We just sit there and look at each other like, you gonna get it? No, you gonna get it? No, you gonna
you
get
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, and then the one of the opposing team members just come hit the ball out to the 3-point line and they get the rebound. That I can't stand when that happened. Like I don't know if it's just like the Dennis Allen thing. Like I don't know if guys are just getting held accountable when they just keep making mistakes. I don't know if it's going to be any consequences or repercussions. What do you think?
I couldn't tell you how them boys handle that as far as a professional environment. I know when I was playing and like college AAU and all that, like, you know, us as people not getting paid and you really got to cherish your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You running lines, you getting yelled at and all that, but they can't really talk to these grown millionaires like that. So I don't know what kind of consequences they got for not, other than getting benched. But I mean, Willie seemed to have his picks and chooses and his favorites, and it just don't seem like there's no real consequences for messing up in the game. Because like you said with the rebounding, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like it's so simple. Even if you're not a good rebounder, dog, when your man or when the ball is shot, do not even look at the goal. Immediately hit your guy. That's what I was taught, dog. Hit your dude. Put your forearm in this man's chest and turn around and box him out. When the ball is hit, if that man is boxed out, he cannot go get the ball. My coaches had a drill when the ball was shot, you literally, all 5 people had to box out and you had to wait for the ball to hit the ground before you went to get it. To drill boxing out in. Like, if you go for this ball before it hit the ground, everybody running. The ball got to hit the ground before you go get it. If your man get free and get the ball, you're running too. So it's like, why don't these dudes understand basic principles of finishing a possession off? You could play great defense, and if you don't get the rebound, you wasted your time. You wasted your time. Just like in football, if you keep getting them to third downs and they converting, just like with the Bears, if you keep getting these dudes to third downs and they converting on every third down, what are you doing other than wearing your defense out? Like, bro, make the stops when you need the stops. So if you don't get the rebound, rebounding is a part of defense. Shit, one of the most important parts of defense, honestly. Because if you can lock your man up and they keep throwing up shots and they just get 75 offensive rebounds in a row, they're going to score every time. So I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I don't know what demons these dudes fighting on the effort side, but it's crazy. And like you said, with the facilitator thing, you know, a lot of people wanted Lonzo gone. I didn't necessarily want him gone, but I understood why the organization did what they did. Because Alonzo was really like the perfect fit in terms of the man, him and Zion had like a telepathic link or some shit to know where to throw the ball at and get this man the ball in his spots. But he was great at finding people on cuts and when they was open. Between him and Josh Hart, because again, Josh Hart, as goofy as dude is, that's my dog, but the man just found a way to get to the cup when he needed to, you know what I'm saying, or offensive rebound or something. And that kind of effort and awareness seems to be lost on this team this year. Like you said, you'll have 4 Pelicans or 5 really standing under the goal, and then one dude will just walk right through the crowd and just grab the ball. Like, how did this man even get down there? They have 5 men out at the 3-point line. How did this one guy get down here? I don't understand it, bro. But until we get somebody who can take control, because last year BI was doing that, or really the year before last when we played the Suns, BI was doing that. He would take control of the game, slow the game down, and he was picking defenses apart with his passing. I don't know what happened to that BI, but we need to go time travel back in time and pull him over here to 2023 because it seemed like he forgot how to do that.
What's your take on the media always trying to get Zion out of New Orleans and get him shipped to like a big market team like the Knicks or just some other big market team where he could just go out and go flourish and just be that big old ticket seller? And a lot of times they go back to him not being in shape, him being in New Orleans, him just having temptation with all the food. And what's your take on that? Not to mention the Mariah Mills fiasco.
And you know what? We don't talk about that. That's like Fight Club. So we don't talk about Mariah Mills. But you talking about like the local media? You got to be talking about the national media.
Well, yeah, the national media and them just harping on him being out of shape due to the fact that he's in New Orleans and everybody was saying, "I told you so." He won't. The food is just he won't be disciplined.
I mean, some of that's on him because Mariah Mills did ass business out, but the dude eating habits weren't great, weren't the best. CJ has also hinted at this a little bit, but kind of being tactful. So I feel like, and this again is just my pure speculation. I don't know this man, ain't never met him, ain't never shook his hand, nothing. But Zion's whole life coming up, he was always bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. And for all the skill level that he has, he could get by on talent alone. You know what I'm saying? So even if he wasn't in the greatest shape of his life, he was still more athletic than everybody on the court. Shit, even right now, he's still pretty much more athletic than everybody on the court. But when you come down to playing other greats, like, you got to be able to ascend to the next level of fitness, right? You look at people like Giannis or even Jokic with his big awkward ass. The man knows how to play. Even though it looked like he's not in shape, Jokic played big minutes. And even when he gassed, he's still like smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still giving what he need to give. And with Zion, you can see when he's gassed. Like, it's extremely visible. But as far as him staying in shape, it's impossible to stay in shape when you constantly have lower body injuries where you can't keep your cardio up. Like, bro, I'm 34. And as much as I love hooping, bro, if I play one half-court game, I'm going to feel like I need a full body cast the next day. I'm gassed. I don't have it no more. Like, I still got the skill. I can still dribble and shoot. But, man, I'm so out of shape, bro. Like, I look pitiful if I go to the court right now. I bring shame upon my last name right now if I go hoop with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So with this man being out all the time, he's constantly having to work himself back into shape. He never just can stay in shape. So part of the blame is on him because ain't nobody else injured but you. You know what I'm saying? Your play style leads to injuries. Your hard charging play style leads to injuries, which is why everybody's like, hey, bro, you need to get a jumper just to cut down on some of the bumps you're taking. And then, as far as the national media is concerned, I know I heard Stephen A. say something along the lines of, don't nobody want to go to New Orleans in the playoffs. I want to go to Miami. I want to go to New York. I want to go to Los Angeles. So a lot of these dudes selfishly say stuff like that because when they travel to cover these games, that's where they want to be at. They want to be in these big flashy cities or whatever. And as much as I love my city, we sure ain't that. But also, to sell tickets and just the hype is not the same in New Orleans as opposed to one of the larger cities. You know what I'm saying? Which I really feel like is kind of on some whole shit as far as the media is concerned because I think the dudes like it here, but again, that's my speculation. But the media want them to like, dance and be puppets on their strings and they need to get these 5 all-stars on this team over here so they can watch super teams battle it out. Like that. That's only fun for the media and the people covering it. The day-to-day average fan wants their team to be good too. So just forget everybody else and just have, 6 teams in the league basically and just cut everybody else and have the same situation, or let's say 8 teams. And you got 4 teams in the East, 4 teams in the West, and you just load all the best player up on them teams. What they even got 30 teams for if you can't have any kind of parity in the league? Like right now in the league, I feel like it's probably the most parity I've ever seen. Because outside of like maybe 3 teams, Man, anybody could do anything right now. Everybody got a shot. I feel like there's a lot of talent in the NBA right now. So I really wish the national media would chill on just trying to get people to quit on their team and go somewhere else. Like, there's enough. James Harden has quit on every team he's been on. Is that what we want? We want a bunch of people quitting to get force their way to super teams? Like, that shit is whack. And then I want to call out our local media because this be blowing me too in these post-game interviews. Like, these loaded questions, bro, especially as Zion. I feel like he the only one they do it to. Like, oh, well, did you feel like taking that rest day made you kind of slower to get it? Like, bro, what are you at? You want this man to be like, yeah, I didn't want to take that rest day. I really wanted to play. He can't say that. You know he can't say that. So why would you even ask that question? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, let's ask some real questions. And I see the visible frustration on Zion's face and his body language when they ask them kind of questions. It's like, this is the reason why this man don't smile at y'all no more. He don't even really want to talk to y'all, giving you the Marshawn Lynch treatment. It's like, but when they ask him a question about, oh, what do you think about Jordan Hawkins? Or, something that he actually doesn't mind answering, he give you a candid, real answer. But when you ask them stupid, pointed questions where you're trying to get a sound bite or a tip for your article, that man be like, look, I ain't got no answer for that. And I don't blame him. It hurts to see as a fan because you want the man to be happy, but I don't blame his demeanor towards the media in general no more because they stabbed him in the back multiple times. So it's like, fool me one time, shame on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna keep letting you play me the fool so you can get your sound bites.
You think that could kind of influence a player to want to move out of town?
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I don't know because I don't live in New Orleans no more. I'm in Baton Rouge. So I'm not in the city all the time. Even though I'm a season ticket holder and I'll be in the city a lot, I don't live there. So I don't know how entrenched into the community this man is. He could just go to his house and not really be out in the streets like that. But from what it sounds like, from things he said previously, he likes New Orleans, the city, and the people. So I don't know if that's enough to keep him here, but like, I feel like the media should do a better job of asking like real questions, real basketball questions, and not these seemingly petty. Oh well, what did you think about man? You know the kind of questions I'm talking about. Well, like I roll my eyes every time I hear one of them, bro.
Yeah.
And when do you think you should get going or get your team involved? Like, bro, if the man had the answer to that, we wouldn't be losing. You wouldn't be asking that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Ask a real question, dog.
What do you think? What do you foresee when it's Wemby versus Zion?
I can't wait to see that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna make sure I'm in the building for that game. If I gotta take off work, I'm gonna be in that thing. Now, obviously, I don't feel like Zion can guard Wemby a lick because he ain't but 6'6". The man got a whole foot on him. But I do feel like the first time Zion goes to the goal on Wemby, that man gonna slide him to probably the first row out of bounds. If I'm Zion, I'm going straight in his chest. I watched this man do the Steven Adams and Rudy Gobert, and I don't feel like Wemby gonna be any different.
And that's another thing. You say you feel like, when Zion get that chance to go to the goal on him. Like, Zion been in the league 5 years. He's been injured a lot of games. But in the games that he has played, I think he could have at least dunked on at least a good 5 people head. Like, how come you think that Zion just ain't got it in him to just dunk on somebody's head like the Ja Morants or the Blake Griffins of old?
Man, I was just talking to one of my coworkers about this because a lot of people say, well, his field goal percentage is only that high because all he do is dunk. This man does not dunk. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't do it. And I don't understand. Like, when he gets mad, like when I start seeing Zion get mad, like at the other team, I'll be like, yes, this man is probably going to go off now. Like what he did to Jaren Jackson. He got tired of getting stuffed repeatedly. So finally he was like, all right, I'm gonna make you have to block it for sure. And people like to be like, oh, well, I think he lost a step since college, blah, blah, blah. And whether that is true or not, this man is still more than capable of dunking like every time he goes to the lane. So I really don't know why. But his layup package is probably one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Like, outside of like Kyrie, Steph, like, bro, this man ability to make those stupidest looking layups consistently is wild, bro. A dude that big
It'd be butter.
son. And it like I've gotten used to it at this point. But like his first like 2 seasons, I was like, bro, what the like it looked like an accident. Looked like the game glitch. Like you playing 2K or something and you go up for a shot and you let it go too early or too late or something, and then it just still find a way to go in anyway.
But like I said, I
Oh,
think that wears him out. I think that wears him out. Not to mention, he never gets calls. So
that part.
you
Yeah.
know, why do you think that we never get calls? Why do you think Bi don't get calls? Why do you think Zion don't get calls? Is it because we don't whine for them? Is it because we are a low market team? Is it because maybe the league just got the picks and chooses of?
I definitely think the league got their picks and chooses.
Okay.
For sure. But I think it's a combination of a bunch of that stuff. Nah, Bi don't really whine for calls, but Zion been whining a ton lately. He real vocal about not getting the call, which I don't blame him. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame him. But you can't try so much to where you're not getting back on defense when you don't get them calls, stuff like that. I knew it was bad. Like the Golden State game pissed me off so much, bro. I have never in my life, I was at the game, I have never seen such blatant lopsided calling in my life in person. Like I know everybody be like, well, Golden State got the moving screens and blah blah blah. That was my first time seeing Golden State play live. And like normally when I'm watching on TV, I'm looking at a whole bunch of other stuff, stats, I be tweeting and everything else. But when I'm at the game, I don't have my phone in my hand like that. So I really was watching, and I'm just like, I watch these people get away with murder, bro. Steph, you breathe on him, they call it a foul. These people just run up and straight pancake people, shoulder check them, and they don't call nothing. And I'm like, well, no wonder this dude always open. No wonder he always getting loose. You know what I'm saying? If you could just run up on, and I watched JV barely scoot his hip a little bit, and they call it an offensive foul every time. So I'm like, I know for sure the league got their picks and chooses, because them refs fans just like we fans. But I don't understand. Well, I do in a sense that they feel like, oh, Zion bigger and stronger than everybody, so he ought to be able to take that. They used to do it to Shaq. They did it to Dwight Howard. They do it to big people. You know what I'm saying? But why is that fair? That's not fair to him that because of his physique, everybody's allowed to beat up on him like that. A foul is a foul. Now, if he shoot 30 free throws a game, hey, that's a problem for the opposition. Figure out another way to stop him. Don't let him get to the cup in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Why should he be penalized for his skill at getting to the cup and being physically stronger than everybody? Just like Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Shaq was picking people up on his back. Motherfucker try to wrap Shaq up, he go up anyway. You know what I'm saying? If the man dominant, he dominant, dog. Just let it be what it's gonna be. If he got to shoot 30 free throws a game, ain't like he a good free throw shooter anyway. Ain't like it's gonna break the game, man. Shooting like 59% or something terrible like that. So I just don't understand, man. I don't know if they want to make him mad so he could leave, so they don't get him. I don't know. I ain't gonna get down the rabbit hole with that, but they be point shaving for sure. They be point shaving, dog.
Yeah. All right. So one last question about the Pels, then we could get to the Saints, and then I'll let you go. What's your expectations for this team, assuming Trey come back, assuming CJ come back, BI get fully healthy, you add Jayhawk in the mix, Willie, he's really experimenting with all the different lineups. And let's just say we relatively healthy. Yeah, of course we're going to get some injuries, but let's just say we relatively healthy to play a good chunk of the league with, the guys that we really need out there.
What's right, like your top 8 people, CJ, Herb, JV, BI, Z, Trey, Jose, Larry, Hawk. That's not shit. That's 9 people right there. Plus Matt. But we got, honestly, at full strength, we got absolutely one of the deepest team, like at least top 5 deepest teams in the league. Okay. But the problem is we always hurt. Yeah. So my expectation, I really do feel like these dudes could go to the Western Conference Finals, at least. But that's a big if, because if we're not healthy, they'll never get the chemistry together to be able to play together. Like I said, like we talked about, them dudes can only play like 16, maybe 17 games, 16 games. I think it's 16, don't quote me, but I know it's something like that. So 16 games together, they don't know how to play together because they haven't done it. So unless miraculously they get the chemistry together, I just don't see us going that far. Like we might make the play in or the playoffs, but if they still don't have the chemistry down and they, in and out the lineups all the time, it'll never work. But since we're talking hypotheticals, if healthy, relative health to where our top guys are in, I don't see why we can't go to the Western Conference Finals. I
Who do
really
you think
don't.
our biggest threat?
So the Pelicans are like an awkward matchup for a lot of people. Like it's really not a lot of people that match up with us well, just because of the personnel, right? Like, so at full strength, and if we firing on all cylinders, it's really not a lot of people that should be able to beat us. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for that third quarter collapse, we were spanking the Nuggets, and we've had their number the last two years. Like for whatever reason, just like who that is? Like the Timberwolves be beating us all the time, or the Jazz was whooping us last year. Like it's certain teams that just you don't match up well against, and you lose. And quite frankly, the Suns, for all their offensive firepower, have no defense. They got no D. So when it comes to the playoffs, they're gonna be in a bind. And let's see, who else? The Warriors. I mean, they're gonna cheat for them anyway. But as long as you can keep Steph from going nuclear, we ought to be all right. Who else in the West? The Mavs. I don't know. The Mavs seem to have our number. OKC is like back and forth. I don't know, bro. It really comes down. It's a make or miss league, like they say, bro. Anything can happen. There's really no surefire path to the top.
And when Chris Paul went to OKC, I think that was when we should have got his ass back.
I want to say they tried. They gave him an offer. He just didn't take it. At this point in his career, well, although he did take $100 million contract, but he won a ring, and he going wherever he feel like he got the best chance to get that ring at. It would have been cool to see him come back, and finish here. But it is what it is.
I hope we could figure it out, because it'll be a shame if it don't work out and we trade Zion, and that'll be Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and Zion got up out of here with no ring. So yeah. That's just pathetic. But let's go ahead and talk about the Saints before I let you go. Like, what are your thoughts of the recap versus the Bears?
Well, me and my coworkers talked about this at length the other day. So there's no way that you have a 5-0 turnover ratio and still got to come down to the wire like that. Like, that's crazy, dog. Like, the defense on a night-to-night basis does this job. We're not perfect, but they do their job. Like, we borderline elite on defense. Borderline. I wouldn't say we elite, but we there. You know what I'm saying? The offense, causes the defense to be on the field way too much because we 3 and out too much. And then our ineptitude in the red zone is like baffling to me. You don't play Jimmy Graham, a big red zone threat. You put him on IR. Like, why? What are we doing? They bullied Pete into finally using motion in offense. Like, the DA, I know this been beat to death with the whole, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Bro, what you're doing not working. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like all our problems are on offense. The offense got to be fixed. Now, as per usual, we got injuries. The O-line is extremely suspect. But another thing that bothers me in this pass-heavy league is the lack of using lead blockers, right? Like, you don't never see nobody run I formation or like split backs, or like the fullback position is dead. The fact that they use Bink as a fullback is wild. So you using a defensive tackle as a fullback when you put Taysom in. Like, why we can't just do that? Why everything got to be single back or empty backfield? Like, the play calling, there are so many other formations that could be used, and we use like the same 3 formations all game long. There's no creativity in the offense like when Sean was there. On sidebar, I'm glad to see Sean fail in Denver because I don't like how he left. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the creativity is gone, and I don't know what it's gonna take to fix it.
Yeah, man. I kind of think that a lot of these defensive ends are getting smaller by the year and faster by the year. So I think that a lot of people are going to start bringing back big boy ball with the I formation and the fullbacks and things of that nature. Like, how the Titans run. So I feel like as long as these defensive ends and these defensive people on the linebackers keep getting smaller and more athletic, then the offense just gonna transition and beef up to combat that. So, but yeah, man, I feel like when it comes to the Saints, I think that our biggest issue is the coaching staff. Like I feel like we got the roster to compete with anybody. I just think that the coaching staff don't put us in the best positions for our players to succeed. And I think it's mainly the offense and the special teams. The offense, they just stall out. They don't finish drives. They don't do what's best for them in third down situations. They'll go for it. It'll be like a third and short, and they'll go for it deep, or it'll be like third and intermediate, and they'll throw like 4-5 yards beneath the sticks, like running the ball on 2nd and 10, like, and then just try to just trying to be the smartest dude in the room and just outsmart yourself when just do what.
Yeah, look, I agree wholeheartedly, bro. When the game was on Sunday, I was talking to my partner. We was watching the game together. I was like, look, they need to run such and such and such and such. And I'm like, oh, look at them. They actually did what I said. Like, bro, I was calling all the plays from the sideline. I'm like, damn, they need to fire Pete and let me go out there. I could do that if that's what we doing. Because I'm like, I called all the plays that they was about to do before they did it, bro. I'm like, if I can figure that out, I'm sure the defense knows. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, with the basically time score situation, the lack of that. It's like you run the ball on first down. Let's say you gain 2 yards. Then it's like the play calling after that gets real suspect. You have no misdirection, or like it's very obvious plays. You're gonna set up in shotgun with 4 receivers on second and 8. Like, bro, run a play action, or something to move the defense, a draw play out of single back, something. Just like I said, the creativity is just lacking, bro. Like, it's so obvious what they're gonna do. Then they bring Taysom in, which, a lot of people give Taysom flack, but man, this man like the ultimate weapon, bro. You can use it to do it all kind of ways. I don't have no problem with the amount of snaps that Taysom get. My issue is you basically just use him as a fullback when, granted, his arm is certainly suspect, but just to keep the defense off balance, you gotta pass sometimes. Damn, let the man get a couple of passes a game, just 2 or 3, just to keep the defense honest. Like, damn, I know he in there. I know they got number 99 in there, so they probably running, but damn, they passed it. Simple stuff like that could get you big gains, and we just don't do that, and I don't understand why.
Well, they did overthink it, and they double covered Sanders, and that's why Juwan Johnson got open. But we all knew that was gonna come sooner or later because we just kept on doing it and running with Taysom. But we knew eventually they was gonna try to give Sanders his look. But the defense of the Bears, they overthunk that and just doubled them and just let Juwan Johnson.
You doubling a defensive tackle on a receiving route is wild.
And that's why their record is what their record is. And we having a shootout with them, and we got 5 turnovers, and not to mention they had gave up almost like 100 yards within penalties with us. So it's like we getting all these flags that they getting on us, and we getting 5 turnovers, and we only win by 7 points. Come on, man, that's coaching, bro. We not getting the ball in the playmakers' hands on offense. We not scheming these guys open. Like, the talent we got on our team, if another coach that had competence, that was an offensive coordinator, their numbers will be looking way different than what it is. This is just crazy that the numbers is what is like with the talent that we have. It shouldn't have to take the media to say, oh yeah, the Saints are dead last when it comes to misdirections and when it comes to motions and things like that, for us to finally do misdirections and motions.
Right, and I didn't even look at the stats on that, but just from watching the game, we're like, it's obvious. Anybody with 2 eyes could see it. Anybody with 1 eye could see it.
Yeah, like it been players like calling plays for us, like saying, "Oh, I knew you was about to do that." Like, you predictable. Like, we just too predictable when it comes to the offense and the offensive coordinator. And yeah, we've been putting up more points lately, but I trust my eyes, bro. I always say this. I trust my eyes. And not to mention, the schedule is easy. Like, people say, oh, man, this is any given Sunday. No. The schedule is easy. You know, if your life depended on it, if you had to play, if you had to have your team play against the Cardinals versus against the Eagles, and if your life depended on it, whoever win these out of the best out of 5 games, you either live or die. You know damn well you're gonna rather your team play against the
And the
Cardinals.
Cardinal, yeah.
So yes, it is a such thing as a easier schedule than a hard schedule. Like, come on, man. Like these dudes getting an easy schedule, silver platter, and on top of that, they getting all these injury breaks. Like all these quarterbacks are going down. Justin Jefferson might not even play next week. And you still not gonna play against Kirk Cousins. He was playing at like an MVP level. Daniel Jones just got injured. You got Desmond Ritter got head bench, and man, it's just like, bro, like how much more you gonna need? Like, if we don't get at least 10 wins, that's a failure. And to me, I think we should get more than 10 wins. Like even more than 10 wins will be good. But the way the schedule is looking after we got all these injuries, like to me, 9 wins or anything less is just a failure. That just calls for a automatic firing to me. It's been coaches who had double-digit wins and still got fired because you just got to trust your eyes and just see what you're seeing, bro.
Man, Dennis Allen's record as a head coach is abysmal.
Yeah, he
Like I don't know what more needs to be said.
Probably 19-42 or something. Probably more than that. I'm not sure. Like you said, don't quote
Think you're
me.
giving him too many wins.
Now I think he for sure 19, but I think his losses are in the 40s or
They
something.
definitely in the 40s. I don't remember the exact number, but it's in the 40s for sure. I think it's like 48.
Yeah,
It's high.
but Dennis Allen, bro, he's a good defensive coordinator, but he's just not a good head coach and a good leader of men. Like he don't get these dudes prepared throughout the week. He don't hold anybody accountable except Trevor Penning apparently. He's definitely not holding Blake Grupe accountable. He's definitely
Oh,
not holding Lou Hedley
I'm
accountable.
glad you mentioned that because that boy got to go.
Yes,
Like when it come to kickers, bro, you either got it or you don't.
bro. The Chargers had the #1 offense and the #1 defense one year and missed the playoffs because they had the worst special teams. That's crazy. #1 offense, #1 defense. Like,
Like the kicker position is extremely underrated in terms of importance in the NFL to the casual fan. Like, bruh, if you can't hit 45-yard field goals consistently, dog, you in trouble.
yeah, I think he like 68% on the season. Meanwhile, he doing good in Denver, and Blake Gilligan, he's doing good in Arizona. So, like you say, man, the offense be stalling out, putting the defense on the field too much, but also the punter be putting the defense in bad field position. So it's like the kicker messing up, not finishing drive for the offense, getting that 3-point, the punter messing up for the defense, getting bad field position. It's like, man, that type of stuff could swing games, bro.
I definitely agree, dog. I don't know what I don't know what they gonna do. I mean, you know, you more in it than me, but it's like,
What's your prediction for next week game against Minnesota?
man, in my heart of hearts, I hope we stomp them. But I done seen the Katrina jokes that them piss me off on there. But logically speaking, I don't know, dog. Because Minnesota certainly ain't Chicago, but they ain't world beaters either. So I don't know. It could go either way.
What's your prediction for the regular season? Like, what you think? How many wins you think we have at the end of the season, and what you think our ceiling is if we was to make the playoffs?
Uh, I definitely don't think we getting past the wild card if we get there. But I don't know, bro. I had to go back and look at the schedule because I don't know who all we got to play to finish out the season. But I do remember the last time I was talking about it, I thought we might squeak away with 10 or 11 wins, just due to, like you said, all the luck that we got as far as the schedule coming up and people being out. But this is also Dennis Allen coach team, so we could very easily go, I don't know, have 8 wins to finish. So
Yeah.
ain't no
I
time,
think
bro. But I don't think we getting a playoff win with this
I
man
think
coaching, bro. I just don't see it.
before the season started, I thought our ceiling was 12-5. I predicted us to go 11-6, and I said our floor is 10-7. Now I think our floor is 9-8, and I think we might go ahead on and get 10-7. But as far as the playoffs, whatever happened. But I know we damn sure need a quarterback. Like after this season,
Certainly.
hopefully we get a quarterback that could sit behind Derek Carr for a year, and then he could just let the team be his, and hopefully we just get another head coach that can have that marriage with his quarterback, and and we just go from there. And hopefully, it could be like a head coach that's offensive minded. That way, we killing two birds with one stone with the offensive coordinator position. And we just need a defensive coordinator that's just competent. We got the talent on the team when it comes to defense. As long as he's competent, he'll be good. And who knows, maybe he'll be better at stopping mobile quarterbacks than Dennis Allen. So.
Oh yeah, because they had Bajan out there looking like 04 Mike Vick. So pissing me off.
And boy, you took me back, boy. I remember we used to play that Madden, boy.
Oh yes.
Madden, that NBA Live. Doing dunks off the backboard.
Oh yeah, that talking about the one with the cartwheels and all that.
Yeah, NFL Street, all that. But shit, man, this was fun, man. We got to definitely do this again. Maybe like in the next maybe 5-10 games the Pels have, we come back and do it again and see where we at. And we just gotta, hope that we could get this injury luck on our side. Thank God the injury guards ain't strike the Saints this year, but I don't know what the hell the Pelicans did, but they still catching the blues.
Equivalent exchange, bro. You got to sacrifice one for the other to be good.
City can't have shit. But yeah, man, this was a nice little chat with you about the Pelicans, bro. You welcome back anytime, man. Just let me know when you're ready to come vent, get your thoughts across, pop your shit, and just let me know, man. I'm always here.
That's a bet.
All right, man, for sure, man. Appreciate you coming on.
It was a pleasure, dog. I'm holla at you.
All right, be safe.